everyone, it's me Zombie and welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited to tell you that I am collabing with one of my favorite makers here on YouTube, and that is Skylar from the Cosplay Apprentice. Today the Cosplay Apprentice sent me this Sony Walkman as seen in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, just in time for Infinity War. I am so excited to have this and to finish it, so that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna make this thing look super awesome. The Cosplay Apprentice makes some really easy to follow cosplay tutorials. They're super fun to watch. He makes really cool cosplay and props. So if you haven't seen his work already, go ahead and go over to his channel, show him some love. By the way, Skylar created a template so you can make your very own Guardians of the Galaxy Walkman, and you can get one for yourself by clicking right down below in the description. If you end up making a Walkman for yourself, I would love to see it. So if you'd like to see me finish the Walkman today and try on my Star-Lord costume with the brand new accessory, then keep on watching. Skylar sent me the Walkman he made. Here it is right outside of the box. You may notice that it's a little bit bigger than a real Walkman, but that's because it's big enough to hold my phone, which is so awesome. This will be really fun to paint. The Walkman itself is made out of Sintra, but you could totally make this out of any other rigid material as well. All the buttons on the outside of the Walkman are made out of thermoplastic, and then the details were pressed in on top of it. Also, look at these little knobby guys, they're so cool. The template also has holes in it so auxiliary ports can be added, and this means I can add functional headphones as well. Skylar went ahead and glued in these handy jacks, but I'm going to take them out temporarily while painting this. Since I want this to fit on my belt, I sketched 2 slits on the back of the Walkman and used my rotary tool to open up the lines. This is also so I can string some elastic through it. I wanted to prime this inside in a well-ventilated area. To do this, I cut open the side of a box to use as a makeshift spray booth. I also poked a hole on top of the box so I could fit a hanger through. I used this old wire clothes hanger and bent it into shape before sticking it through the top of the box. I hung my Walkman on the hanger inside of the box by the holes that I just cut in the back. This will make it much easier to paint. Now I'm using some filler primer and generously covering the entire prop. As I cover it in paint, I'm twisting the top of the hanger around carefully to get an even coat of paint on every side. I also took out the knobs that go on the inside of the Walkman and primed them separately at the bottom of the box. The filler primer took about an hour to dry, but after it did, I was satisfied with how the finish was looking, and it only needed some minor sanding before the next step. Since I wanted a nice glossy finish with my final coat of paint, I covered the entire Walkman with a glossy black spray paint. I used a couple coats of this stuff, making sure that each coat was completely dry before applying the next coat. After it dried, it was time to mix up some blue for the base color. So trying to mix the exact right shade was pretty tricky. I tried mixing the right shade of enamel paints and testing it out. I used the Testors brand Insignia Blue and some silver enamel and tested it on the Walkman. I didn't like the finish, so I tried mixing some acrylics together instead. Grace, stop what you're doing right now. I'm you from the future and you've made a terrible mistake. You didn't clean your airbrush well enough in between using enamels and acrylics, so now you have a huge mess inside of your airbrush. Take a look. Oh wow, you're right. Yeah, it's bad. It's gonna add a long time onto your project. You're going to have to field strip that airbrush. You're gonna have to clean it all out. You might have to let it soak. Fortunately, I'm looking out for you today. I brought this rattle can from the future. Here, take it. Well, okay, thanks. You came all the way from the future to tell me to use this rattle can instead of enamel paint? If I would have used an enamel paint instead, would it have started a series of events that would have led to the end of the world? No. This isn't that important in the grand scheme of things, but I just happened to be in the area and I thought I'd stop by and help you out. You're welcome. Oh, Future Grace, one more thing. You're from the future, so you know my future. So, how does it go? Ooh, yeah, well, I gotta go. But it was nice seeing you, and hopefully I'll never have to see you again. Bye. Bye-bye. And hey, what do you know? I like this base color more already. This color is a nice, shiny midnight blue. It's actually a bit dark for the Walkman, but I can lighten it up by using another light coat of paint on top of it. I mixed some midnight blue and silver and dusted a light coat of paint over the base coat. This really brightened up the color and made it more accurate. I masked off the parts that needed to be painted silver with a paper towel and some masking tape. Then I used my airbrush and some silver paint to cover up those bits. While waiting on my paint to dry, I decided to try making some teeny tiny stencils. I only wanted to make 2 for the Sony and Walkman logos. I don't have a CNC machine or laser cutter or anything fancy like that, so I did it the old-fashioned way. I'm tracing the logos onto one side of a clear file holder. I know it kind of looks like I'm doodling on my phone here, but don't worry, I'm just tracing the logos. Then I covered it in masking tape to try to make the pattern sturdier. After that, I cut out the logos with a very sharp X-Acto knife. Oh. One more thing, that stencil isn't gonna work. Plastic probably wasn't the best idea, and those letters are really tiny for the material that you're working with. You're just gonna have to hand paint everything. Yeah, that's just how it is. Bye-bye. Well, okay, yet again that didn't go as planned, so I will be hand painting the logos with this teeny tiny paintbrush. This took a while, but I was able to take my time here, and I did my best to make sure the letters were as neat as possible. After that dried, I took some brown acrylic paint and dry brushed some dust into the creases. Lastly, I mixed some yellowy orange acrylic paint and hand painted the top of the button. I stuck on this small piece of PETG plastic on the inside of the Walkman to create a window. After letting the paint dry, I hot glued the auxiliary jacks back into the eyelets. Then I placed some foam inside of the Walkman so my phone would fit in there more comfortably. And finally, I pulled up an awesome mix video on my phone and then put it inside of the Walkman. Skylar also included these beautiful headphones. They fit right inside of the auxiliary jacks. They look so great. And look! I love it! It's so cool, and I love that it fits my giant phone. This will be a great addition to my Star-Lord crossplay, and just in time for Infinity War. Thank you, Cosplay Apprentice, for teaming up with me and making this awesome prop for me to paint. I learned so much by painting and finishing this. It was kind of crazy, but I definitely feel like I am a more capable painter after this project. This week's featured makers include Smelly Helly, who created this beautiful Caliph costume from Critical Role. The gown is stunning. She handmade everything, including every single little leaf and every little scale that you see. Yeah, that is incredible. Thank you for showing me. Moody Vision on Instagram showed me this insane Gladiator Hulk costume he's making. Oh my gosh, it is so big. What a great larger-than-life costume. I can't wait to see it finished. Wish Creative on Instagram showed me this awesome Roadhog Mask they're working on. I love that they made the hair out of foam and it's all a part of the mask. It looks so neat and it looks exactly like it does in the game. Seeing what you guys create really makes my day. If you want to show me what you're working on, whether it's cosplay or whether you're making something you're just really proud of, I would love to see it. Go ahead, show me on Twitter or on Instagram. So thank you in advance for showing me all your hard work. Until then, get out there and make something. Bye everybody! Oh, hi again. It's me, Grace from the future. Hey, you know, if you liked the video, you could hit the subscribe button. I mean, or not. In the future, nothing really matters anyway. It has been a long future. Yep.